All right, betting weekly tennis live back again on Bet Rivers. Download the app. Make sure you make all your bets on Bet Rivers. Get in on the action. Follow the social channels at Because We Win. You know it's that time, 1 o'clock Eastern, where we break down all the tennis action on the grass courts. Less than a week away to Wimbledon, qualifying at the All England Club. 4 tournaments all across Europe. Mitch, Michals, Dustin, Fox. Dustin, welcome back to the show. It's an exciting time of year.
Yeah, no, it's my favorite time of the year when we actually get to watch all these grass court matches. They're for us folks here in the States, we get to watch these in the morning, early part of the day, and pretty much by mid-afternoon, they're all done. So we've got tons of matches that have already wrapped up. We've got some underway, and you hit on it, partner. I mean, Wimbledon qualifications going on right now, and a week from pretty much now, like we're going to be into grass court major, which is my favorite. Yeah, I think Wimbledon's the best event of the year, at least for me. I think it's the most fun to watch. It's challenging to watch these guys, go from such a different surface in clay to grass, and then you're like right into this huge tournament. It's the shortest season of the year, and I wish it was longer, but it's not. So we got to sort of embrace the fact that we got this short period of time and take it all in.
Well, a couple of things. One being that, it used to even be shorter. Hearing the stories about the legend of the 70s and 80s, how
much shorter was it?
There was no week before Queens. Queens was literally the day after. Queens and Halle were literally the day after the RG final. You just go right to it. Made me think of that too, because I was watching Djokovic's practice videos, and one of the things he's doing, he's into some different, unique ways to warm up. He's always been kind of against the grain with that, but what he was doing was just kind of doing his footwork drills, his pre-practice drills, barefoot on the grass, just trying to get a sense.
I saw that too.
The movement. And then you hear Darren Cahill say that Yannick was practicing sliding on the grass. So it's really, footwork as an athlete is the foundation for everything.
Oh, no doubt.
There's nothing like footwork on the grass though, because you only get a couple weeks a year to even play.
And it's so different because, depending on the time of day, depending on if it's a little slicker in the morning, like there's just, it's tough to prepare for it because, and by the way, I mean, the grass courts are all different, based on where you're playing, and how they manicure the grass and how they cut it and all that. So it's got to be a challenge for these guys, and whatever they do. I mean, Novak's done this for, a zillion years. So he's got his routine. Yannick's, not into it nearly what Novak is. So he's trying to figure out his way to go about it. So either way, it's been fun to watch these first, couple of weeks, seeing Alcaraz get his title right. I mean, it's crazy that he went from clay to that unbelievable final to then just going and winning his first grass court tournament. It's like insane.
First time he's got 2 Wimbledons, he's got 2 Queens. This is the first time that he's gone right from RG straight to winning the Queen's Club title. It's impressive, head to battle. But this is the scary thing, right? It's not even Alcaraz at his peak on grass, which he's going to be ramping up to. So we'll recap the weekend. I didn't want to get into the live action now, and then we'll bounce around. But we've got matches across the grounds, the late matches in all these tournaments. You got 1 match left in Mallorca. Werner Tien, Justin Engel, 2 teenagers playing each other. 1 set up, Werner 30 all, 2-1 down. He's a -360 favorite. Engel, 17-year-old German. So the combined age in this matchup is 36. Just throwing that one out there.
And Novak's got two years on both those guys combined.
Yeah, I like Engel. He's only playing his 6th. I looked this up. 6th professional grass court match. He made the quarterfinals in Stuttgart, lost in qualifying 2 in Halle. So some youth on his side as well for Tien. You have Eastbourne just started. The late one there was Fokina versus Sang. Fokina,
I'm watching that now. Got a break point here.
He's got a break point here. He's a big favorite. Also just got married. So Fokina and yourself have that.
Yeah.
So saw that one.
He's a little younger than me, but and I assume this is his first. This is my second.
So probably a safe assumption. We do have, so Azarenka finished, so she's done. So all the action is done for the day in Bad Homburg. She beats the German local or Siegemund. And in Eastbourne, you have Kazakhina, Wu Sun. Kazakhina 2 points away from losing this match. Wu Sun, I mean, that would have been maybe a nice pre-match to get on. Kazakhina doesn't have, I think we know, the best serve, and Wu Sun, who made that, mini run, but, she beats Serena in her last Wimbledon match and is maybe someone to watch.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I mean, so what are we, 2-5 there, and Sun's going to be able to serve this thing out. So Kasatkina, can she break back and extend it? We'll find out.
I think it's going to be a big opportunity for her. I misspoke. Sun didn't beat Serena. She made the quarterfinals last year. That was the match I was thinking of. So Sun making the quarterfinals last year was huge at Wimbledon out of nowhere to really make an impact. So maybe it is a grass court thing. We're going to see that right without the whole year. Right, specialists are going to be important. I mean, we're spoiled by the all-time greats and the greats at the top of the game, but in that middle tier, you're going to have players that do very well on clay, do very well on grass, and it's up to the bettors to find out the inefficiencies, maybe on rankings and overall records.
Yeah, I mean, look at Bublik right now and what he's doing at his age on this surface. Like, is he finding something? Like, could he be a long shot for Wimbledon? I don't know. I mean, he just took out Sinner. I mean, that is insane.
Sinner, Khachanov, Medvedev, and what he did was he got back ranked in the top 32. So what he's done now is got himself a number by his name. So no impossible first round match. He can and has a chance to beat anybody, but I do think that, that's huge. And he had to do it when he did. There was a lot riding on some of those matches, right? Like Jack Draper, Draper beating Nakashima. I know he lost to Iriel Hechka in the semis, but that got him, just that win got him past Taylor Fritz. So he will be the 4th seed at Wimbledon.
By the way, I mean, you've followed pro tennis for longer than I have. Lehechka, is he a grass court specialist? Because I've been so impressed with his play this grass court season.
He's a non-hard court specialist. Like because clay, he does well too. I think that, but that is a little odd, right? Like your worst surface might be hard court, and I think that's what we've seen. But
I legitimately thought he had a chance going into the match against Carlos yesterday to win that, and obviously takes the second set and then just kind of, Carlos does his thing, similar to what he did, Carlos to Jamie Munar. Jaime Munar.
Yeah. If you're looking for a live angle today, though, I do think angle to win maybe a set here would be the one I would play. Okay. Given what we have left. Lerner's played some long physical matchups, and that looking at how this match has gone and seeing on live, you can get on Bet Rivers. And I mean, right now you can go the over in set 2 if you want to play over 10.5 games as they just mosey along pretty.
I kind of like that. I mean, Lerner to me doesn't have a monster serve. So like he's going to be in a lot of rallies. There's a lot of longer points.
First set was 6-4, so under there, but we're a 3-2. Angle has the hammer, and he's kind of got a little, I don't want to say serve bot in him. That is a compliment coming from me, but he was able to stand and hit. Had the win over Mickelson. That was really like his coming out win in Stuttgart. So, maybe that's the way to play. I do think he can make this match interesting. And looking at some of Lerner's recent matches, I mean, we know he was the marathon man against Medvedev in Australia. Yeah. Mute was another one. That match was long, but last week in Halle, he ran into Nico Yari. That was a tough one, but I feel like he's playing some physical matchups. So would like that one for sure. That would be the live one. We have a couple matches tomorrow, but before we get to that, Dustin Fox here on Betting Weekly Tennis Live. We mentioned the men, right? Bublik wins, Alcaraz wins. How about Marketa Vondrousova, Wimbledon champ from?
I was going to say she's a Wimbledon champ. I didn't think that she would go straight sets against Sabalenka. Like, dismantled her.
It wasn't just one win, though. That's the crazy thing. Beating Madison Keys, too, who I think when we get to Wimbledon Futures, I think is a real opportunity. Wang Zinzin is another player that's tough. And we know Jabeur and Diana Schneider. I mean, Ons Jabeur was playing better. She did look better. She beats Jasmine Paolini. And Schneider has at least one, if not 2, grass court titles. So lefty, good serve, variation. And what do we say this time of year? Come forward and being good at the net. All check marks. So
get to the net as quick as possible. I was impressed today, though. Donna Vekic got the dub over Schneider.
Rematch. Yeah, that was a rematch from last week. Love that. Love a little revenge in the air. That was a big one. And McCartney Kessler wins Nottingham. So still up until, because Cleveland last year was really like her coming out party. This is like the first year, essentially. 2 titles to her name. So pretty cool for the Gator there.
No, I mean, I saw her live last year in Cleveland, as did you. And I was like, who's this girl? Young American, just, kind of coming up and all of a sudden, boom. I mean, just taking titles and, beating top players. So impressive to see her on this surface and doing well.
For Vondrousova, if we're talking dark horses, it could be her again. That win puts her back in the top 75, which is huge given the fact where she was. So now I got to think. I mean, she would have probably had the maybe the wild card entry given the Wimbledon champ side of things, but now she's comfortably back in the field. Andreescu's actually playing qualifying tomorrow, so she didn't get into the ranking cutoff and no wild cards. So it's a hot button subject. Who gets wild cards anymore?
It is. I honestly still don't really get it. You know how those things work with the rankings and all this stuff. I mean, it is. It's probably not as complicated as I make it out to be in my head.
No, it's favoritism, but again, tournaments can do whatever they want, right?
Right.
You can change your mixed doubles to just an exhibition with the best players in the world because that's part of it too. So, the one thing that is a little unfortunate or fortunate if you're one of those from one of those countries, if you're from a country that hosts the major, there's like a quid pro quo, like we'll give France entrance to the U.S. Open if you get some Americans in the French, so that's how that kind of works. There's like a trade off. I heard John Wertheim call it like a
barter
drug
you some
cartel.
players. Okay.
It was kind of cartel operation like, but that's part of it. But yeah, great matches tomorrow all across Europe. This is the Wimbledon prep week. Also, do want to give a shout out. Big win for João Fonseca today. Fonseca beat Zuzu Bergs in 3 sets on the grass, and Bergs was coming in hot finalist, in Stuttgart himself, right? I think that's what it was, or Tagenbosch rather. So Fonseca, that's what we want, right? New stars coming up, and that was a big win for the young kid.
No, I love it. Want to see these kids continue. I don't want to just see them have like a one and done. I don't need a one hit wonder like when we were growing up. These bands that had like these amazing songs like Chubbawamba and the
Hanson.
All the Hanson exact mbop.
Yeah.
I don't need mbop. I need some more studs and stars in our game from these teenagers and I like to see it because we saw the greatness of all these
Mm-hmm.
the Nadals and Djokovic and Federer. I mean, we've seen it all, and now there's a new wave of players, and we think it's going to be Carlos and Yannick and and everybody else pretty much. I mean, it's just those two. But I'd like to see somebody else slide in there and be like the third, and maybe a fourth.
Yeah, no tub thumping for Fonseca. He's through today. But I was looking too at Djokovic as you were saying that, like he's a standard in so many reasons. It took him his 3rd Wimbledon appearance, and he was in the semis. It went 3rd round, 4th round semis. So again, Rome's not built in a day, but if you're one of these special guys, you kind of make an impact early. And for Fonseca, similar to Roland Garros, right? He was kind of at that level. Win a match or two this year. First go, let's see how he does. And then the expectations should rise because I do think it's a little unfair. Year one, he wins one match. It's like, why isn't he, in the major semis right away? Like even the great rookies in football or basketball or whatever, you're not going to get that success right away. So point to be made there. Matches that stood out tomorrow. I want to get your thoughts on a few. We have a few graphics to go over, then just general thoughts, some advice to people, what they might want to bet. And this one stood out. Jacob Fernley taking on Flavio Covelli. I think Covelli's been stepping up, but this match in Eastbourne, Dustin, I like Fernley. I think he's turning into a heck of a grass court player. We'll put that graphic back up.
I'm glad you bring this one up because I had a live bet on my boy Mute against Fernley last week, and Mute takes the second set and then just gets broke, and Fernley just wore him out. And I was just so impressed. I watched that match. You always learn more about a player when you bet against him.
Yeah.
Because it's frustrating because you're like, gosh, dang it. Like, why is he doing these things to my guy? And like, I was just like, this guy's a really good grass court player. And I had to take my medicine on that one. And so I like this one. Covelli's a hell of a player too. And he has just been played some good tennis too. I mean, obviously his last loss was to Sasha Zverev, and it was a second set went to a breaker. So he was right there. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's gonna be a good match. What are the odds on it? Did you put it up? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll blast a little longer. Minus 130 for Fernley. Yeah, pick the spread's a little tight. I think that there's not enough value either way on the spread.
No.
I kind of like the juice on Fernley. I mean, last year Djokovic going for and really pushing him, and it goes. You have to repeat this, Dustin. A month ago, prior, he was at TCU competing in the national tournament for them. He's a college student. He comes over, plays one grass event, beats Djokovic, and then goes on. This is the other side of Fernley that I like. Goes on this insane tear on the Challenger Tour. I think it was 3 straight titles in a row. So he knows how to win. Like, and cliche, of course, but like at this level where only one person's really the ultimate winner every week, knowing how to just find a way to win matches is big. So Cabelli's got a great game. He's exciting. I'll take consistency this time of year. And that's why I would lean Furley.
I think Cabelli, he plays a lot of, higher in terms of like games. I like that over at plus money. I mean, it's even money, excuse me. 23.5. They could hit that without even going to a third set.
Oh, they could.
I think there could be a breaker in the first set, and then all you need is a 7-5 in the second set, regardless.
Let's see. Yeah, that's an opportunity to say the least. The other match we have a graphic on, women's matchup. Some big names early. This is the final week prepping for a major. Bad Humbug or Eastbourne actually too. Like you have all these opportunities, all these big events. Like it's pretty impressive. And I think Bad Humbug's a 500 level event. You got Pagula, you got top names there. Let's look at this one. Yeah.
What do we think about Iga and Azarenka tomorrow?
We want to get to that because that actually, that just got official with Azarenka winning. But first one here, Paolini and Fernandez, 500 level event the week before major. Big deal. Big deal to say the least. Money, ranking points, you name it. Fernandez looking for a big win. Paolini stumbled up, and I'm just wondering, is there value on this one way or the other? It's the classic question, though, right, Dustin? Like, do you think the value is either do you think Paolini is going to win comfortably and cover spreads, or do you think Fernandez could win a set, make things interesting, maybe even be live on the money line?
Oh my goodness, I hate betting against Jasmine Paolini because she's such a fighter, and she's never out of it. You know what I mean? Like, unless she's playing Sabalenka or somebody who can hit with some serious power, I don't know. I mean, Fernandez, this should be an interesting matchup, but I have a hard time betting against Paolini, even though Fernandez just had a really nice win against Marias, who's been playing good on grass. So,
well, if I have my stats right, Leylah Fernandez is 3-1 against Jasmine Paolini. So something to consider, although looking at this head-to-head in detail right now, it does appear, obviously, it's something that we've said a lot. First time on grass. They played in Abu Dhabi, in Doha, in the Billie Jean King Cup finals, Dubai again. But recently,
last time I played was in Dubai. You're right.
So, yeah, I don't like betting against Paolini either, but maybe a set spread, maybe. What are the odds too? That's a good one to look at, right? Like, what are the chances Lerner taking that break advantage? Might not be good for the over in that one, but that number's actually come down. So it's live on Bet Rivers right now. It is -180 Paolini. So Fernandez is closing away. There's a lot of action you can get on that match, and just to win a set, it's -182. So yeah, maybe it's the over is the play on that one.
I do like that over. The other one I asked you about was the Iga and Azarenka match tomorrow. That's now official, as Azarenka, you mentioned, just got the dub. Any chance for Azarenka?
Ooh, I don't know. Do we have a number on that? Or are we still waiting?
Let me
still be waiting. It did just go official, so it's probably still waiting. Well, I would say, and yes, I did another thing I forgot to mention. So Ange Jabeur is about to play Maya Joint in about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So we got one more match. Is that right?
You like Maya Joint. I love Ons, but I just
I think she's in a good place. Yeah.
Okay, I like to hear that because I love her. I really do. But I have not really been profitable with betting on her.
She looked better for the first time, and I think that the experience factor is going to win out here. I think Ange Jabeur has a lot of miles on her, has had some issues with injuries and staying healthy. I think grass is the perfect place for her to play her game. I know she's had success on the other surfaces too, US Open finalists, some clear results. Grass is where she shines. Her variety, it's just so exciting. And I think this is the best chance for her to stay healthy. So I would expect the favorite to win in this one for sure. That would be my lean. Azarenka, Iga on grass. Yeah, what experience for someone that doesn't really like grass, but we say that a lot, right? And it's clear. Iga's worst surface is grass. I think she's overvalued on the Wimbledon odds. That's all fine and dandy, but she still has made quarterfinals and done pretty well. And Azarenka, I think, at her point in her career, might not be as live of a dog as she's been in the past. So I believe Iga's been practicing and putting the time in. I think she'll win this match, but this might be your scouting mission, right? See how Ego looks in this matchup. See if there's something there you like or dislike going forward.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, she's 24 and Azarenka now 35 years old. Has been doing it for a long time. But remember, if someone's not comfortable on this surface, this is like your girl Tatiana Marie.
Slice and dice and everyone out.
Yeah, dude. I mean, but she's 37, and when you know the surface really well, it can be a challenge for somebody who's just an all-around great player.
I wanted to ask you, you're going to celebrate the occasion, savor it. We don't know if it's like Haley's Comet. You got Bernie Tomic in a main draw match. He's back.
He is.
He's back.
He's my favorite only because he plays tennis like me.
You've walked out on matches before?
No, I've not done that. Okay. Like his attitude, different. But I'm saying he just doesn't really look like a tennis player. Like if you were to just isolate him and watch him like a whole match, you'd be like, oh, this guy's like a 3-5 rec player. You know what I mean? And he's not. I mean, the guy just frustrates people and gets to balls that he shouldn't. I don't know. I like his game because he's kind of a street baller like me.
He is. He's playing Rinky Hijikata tomorrow. Bernie was, obviously, if you don't know, a prodigy, had a lot of hype, maybe didn't handle some success and maybe failure as well. But good to see him grind at least. Like he wasn't given this opportunity. He had to claw back in a main draw. And maybe this is a chance for him against a player that isn't going to hit him off the court. So plus 155, I don't know if it's a bet I would advise, but it's something to consider. And the weirdest one to me, and not just weird, but just the storylines. We love this time of year where veterans can shine. Roberto Bautista Agut's been playing a lot better.
Dude, he's been playing so good.
Sizable favorite over Echeverry, Thomas Martin Echeverry. It's minus 152 to about plus 118 for Echeverry. So I kind of like RBA again. Like I think you find a way to bet on him in this match. Echeverry playing better on grass, but he's a clay guy, and RBA at his age, at his point in his career, is really, I think, still capable of winning these matches.
Yeah, he's 37. He's right there with Djokovic. But I mean, you're right. He's played pretty well as of late. He beat Holger Rune in a 3-setter, so still has enough stamina to go 3 sets. He beat Menchik, who has been awesome, and his serve should be unbelievably unstoppable on grass. And he beats him in 3 sets. So. And Borges he got. So I don't know, man. I kind of like the way he's playing right now.
There's a player I like on the women's side, but I'm not sure. Grass is always like the outlier, right? So there's a player, there's a number that I'm looking at, I'm circling, but I wanted to just bounce it off the wall to you because I do think she's a good player. But Uchijima tomorrow is an underdog. And I was looking at this, and she's playing Jody Burge plus 150, slight underdog. Uchijima, when she was hitting the ball good and when she just pushed around Jessie Pegula, I thought about it. But she's very young, and the grass court success hasn't been there. Doesn't really have much experience on there. So I'm wondering if there's something here. If this could be the start of it, or if it's just not going to be her surface. But that was one I had circled.
I mean, we'll find out. But like both these players are not in great form. They're both they've won 1 match in their last 5 matches. So they're both coming into this like struggling for dubs. So at that number, if you think this could be like a breakout for her on grass, absolutely. I love that.
I'm just looking at beyond the surface. I think maybe there's something there. So any other matches that caught your eye going forward tomorrow all across Europe here?
I mean, I like Sophia Kenin tomorrow. Taking on Burrell. It's minus 240 on the money line. I do like that one.
Maybe a straight sets or something.
Yeah, I like that.
2-0 straight sets.
I'd lay the games even, which is probably like 4.5 or 3.5. Probably 3.5. I bet.
We could craft it. We got.
I'm gonna craft a little parlay.
Craft a little daily double. I think that'd be a good idea. Yeah. So I think the games. We'll look at that one. Get an official one on there because there's so much good tennis around. And Mallorca's another one. We have some good men's matches over there, but it's weird. I don't actually see the. Here we go.
What's the line on?
Ken and Burrell just came out. We have a money line. We have set betting. I don't see game spread.
All right. The Bublik match is interesting because I mean he just hasn't really lost on grass. In fact, he hasn't lost on grass, right? Yeah, his last loss
he
was
hasn't.
on clay to center in the quarters.
And he got him in on grass. It's crazy. Yeah.
Um,
What's that? Yes, that one's out. That'll be coming up as well. Gosh. So
Kamatsana is I mean, he hasn't even played a grass match yet this season. So
straight sets.
I think a straight sets, yeah, he should cruise. He's been
I
playing
like
so
that.
well, man.
I like that for your. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to craft the daily double, but you get minus 130 on that one.
Yeah, so let's
Straight
do that.
sets.
Let's do that with a little daily double with Sophia Kennan.
Wish we had the
Whenever we
game
get
number
those
up.
odds.
Yeah, we'll throw that together. But you're going to look at, based on how this works, it's probably going to pay like what 3 to 1 ish, like 250 ish. If we're
They're both
saying
about like what? I mean, like minus 130, minus 150, somewhere like that.
her game spread might not be. Her game spread might be a little less than that. So his is minus 130 straight sets. I like it because Bublik's heat checking, and it's pretty cool, right? Like he said he wasn't sure he was even going to keep going. And last Wimbledon, 28, but just found his footing, found his form, and found it on a surface that he's not really comfortable in.
Nothing would make me happier than to see Alexander Bublik win a major, especially on grass. You know,
yeah.
I would. Could he have a run similar to Eubanks a year ago? Or 2 years
he
ago?
absolutely
Ago?
could. He absolutely. It was maybe 3 years ago now.
Okay,
but
yeah, you know the run I'm talking about. Though. It was insane.
He could absolutely. It would help if he was getting Tsitsipas along the way, but that was the thing, right? Is like the luck matters.
For sure.
Matteo Berrettini last year in Wimbledon. If you're doing a ranking of best grass court players in form, I would have put him in the top 10. He wasn't seeded. He drew Sinner round 2, 4 sets, great man. That's part of it. Now Bublik's seeded, so hopefully he can avoid it. But if he gets Sinner in the 3rd round and loses, it's not a failure. It's just the luck of the draw. So that's why you got to take advantage of those opportunities when you have a good draw and it's like, okay, this is your time to shine. So that said, we could look at some Wimbledon stuff too, because I think that's always fascinating. And
I gotta get some futures over to our guy. I think it was Paul sent me a message this morning.
Yeah, I got a similar one.
You did? Okay, so I gotta get it back over to my mate.
So Wimbledon futures, then we're going to look back at the live one to round up this show here, Betting Weekly Tennis Live, Bet Rivers Network. Download the app, make sure you're in on it. And yeah, we got so much good content. This show's 3 times a week, 1 o'clock Eastern, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You got the betting, you got the Game Set Match podcast. You got Nigel doing great stuff. Sean Calvert, I don't think he's lost a bet this year. So it's like there's just a lot you want to follow here on the network. Wimbledon right now, Alcaraz, slight favorite over Jannik Sinner, plus 135, plus 145. Djokovic inching up. Draper at plus 1050. We monitored him. Then it's that drop off. It's Zverev 2,800 and Mitch's 6th favorite to win Wimbledon. Alexander Bublik plus 4,000, along with Taylor Fritz, but up to 6.
Put $1,000 on it to win 40.
Hey, Medvedev's creeped up a little too, and finally, like he's beat Sinner last year on grass, like. Might not love it as much as hard course, but he loves it more than clay, and that's something.
Man, I had Zverev in that match against Medvedev, and thought I was going to get it. Medvedev's been impressive to me this season on grass.
The other name that I was looking at, because you talk about futures, and obviously you can say Sinner and Alcaraz maybe are a cut above and probably going to win the thing. Djokovic, of course, is in there, but you bet a future to maybe get to a semi and a hedge opportunity if you're looking at that regard. Tommy Paul, if he's healthy, 11,000 right now to make a deep run. The movement's there. You could say he might not have the weapons other guys do, but not impossible to say in 2 weeks' time, oh, we're looking at semifinalist Tommy Paul.
Yeah, and a guy that won a grass court tournament a season ago. So like he's good pretty much on all surfaces. Frankly, I mean, when he's on, he's pretty solid. I could see him making the semis.
Well, we're gonna have a bunch of futures, and there's gonna be some house specials. That's kind of what we were talking about. Why people are looking at like what to do in terms of what our bets are, but there's going to be an opportunity for player performance too. So you can have the field versus Alcaraz and Sinner. You can have quarter bets. That's where we'll get to it next week, but the quarter bets are where I like, because then you see the draw and you kind of understand, okay, who has a chance to win their quarter, maybe make things interesting. So that's where I'm just giving out some advice of strategy. That's where I'll be looking.
I love it, man. Next week I'm going to be on a cruise. Unfortunately for you.
You have to get your picks in early so I can
I'll
share them to
definitely
everyone.
be sending them to you guys. Well, I'll still have Wi-Fi on the boat. We're going on our honeymoon.
The tennis isn't stopping. I know, even on your honeymoon.
Well, I'm going to New York City for 2 days this weekend, and then we're cruising out from there to Bermuda.
Ooh. I know the tennis isn't going to stop though. You're still going to be following along.
Yeah, and I'm going to be trying to play in Bermuda. There's some nice tennis centers down there.
Okay. Well, the women's side, quickly, just want to mention, it's still Sabalenka is a pretty solid favorite, but plus 255. So not drastic odds. You have Rybakina, Coco. Coco's at plus 750. Rybakina 540. Iga, Andreeva, Vondrousova rises up. It's hard to make sense of this, right? You have outliers. I would just say that one of the ones I'm still looking at would be Maddie Keys at plus 1500. I think she could find a way to do it. So it's going to be interesting on the women's side, man. Just going to have to look at the draw and see who can, match up well.
Sorry, my mic cut off. I feel like on the women's side, it's more wide open than the men's. So if you like somebody, you think they're going to get hot, like absolutely. Like
Naomi today.
Yeah, there you go. Another good one. Glad you brought that up.
4,000. She wins a 2 tiebreak physical match against Olga Danilovic, who's very good.
Been playing well.
I would just say, looking at this board, the ones that stand out to me, Samsonova as a server, like her chances 7,000. And then I still think there's value on Emma Navarro at plus 8,000, which I could look pretty foolish if she's bounced in the second round, but beat Coco's quarterfinalist last year. So why not? Why not?
Samsonova to me is one to keep an eye on. Her match, I watched the entire thing against Pegula the other day, and I was really impressed.
That was great.
Yeah,
that was great.
I mean, to be able to pull that out in the breaker, it was like, wow.
And then you have plus 15,000 on Tatiana Maria. She just slices her way through. Get to it.
Like my daughter. My daughter's a slice queen too.
It's
on the court.
I'll just say this: we'll talk the non-technical side of things, and don't pass this along to your daughter's tennis coach. But it's something about how not just your slicing, but watching the final against Anisimova, who I also love on all surfaces, how she just got the ball to just die dead in the court. Like, it wasn't just the slice; she would put it in precise locations, like sometimes dead center, with just no pace on it. So when you play a big hitter and you have to generate your own power, and you give them nothing, it was just a frustrating tactic that worked to perfection.
Trust me, I know all too well about trying to generate your own power when you're playing against somebody who hits it a little bit softer. It's like, gosh darn it, man. And I've lost to players like that all the time. What
about the mental side of, like, you're an athlete and you have a tactic that is different, and that there's going to be some times when you just get passed, when you just get hit right through, but you just put your head down and you keep doing it. You have
to. I mean, I watch these coaches that talk about this all the time. It's like, if you want to be a player that comes to the net a lot, I mean, you got to be comfortable losing those points. And be like, okay, good shot. You clap for him and say, give him a little pat on the racket. Nice shot. And then you move on. And you come to the net next time and you get a winner. So if you're winning half those points or 54%, as Roger would say, you're doing fine.
Well, I couldn't agree more. Unfortunately, my bad advice dished out. Team won 4-4, so 10 games. But good for Lerner, another American, to keep going as he gets his Wimbledon prep in. We've got a tiebreaker in Sang Fokina. Well, I'm kind of thinking your strategy, right? Like, you would maybe say Sang wins this set, then you just jump all over Fokina.
100%.
Yeah, so that might be the
100%.
There could be value there.
If Fokina wins the set, then I'd stay away.
We got Ons and Maya Joint starting 2-1. Jabeur has game point there. So yeah, some interesting stuff tomorrow. Yeah, be on the lookout for all of our Wimbledon props, Wimbledon bets or picks, and there's a lot of house specials. We saw it all RG. It was pretty cool. So this was fun. We're not gonna be chatting until week 2 of Wimbledon next time.
Yeah, I'm actually back July 7th. So that's the Wimbledon. Monday. And what's the final for Wimbledon? What's the date on that? Is it
That'd be the 13th? Yeah.
Okay.
13th.
So I'll be back for the final week of Wimbledon, but I'll be watching all these matches on the boat, man. I got every app there is.
That's, so we're now I'm like looking back nostalgic. They play on the middle Sunday now. That was the original Manic Monday. Now it's not quite as manic because they play on Sunday, but that was the day historically. That Monday was when every match was played. It was like every round of 16.
Central too.
There's just tennis everywhere you look. So when we're back on next time, there'll be live tennis going on. We'll have a lot to digest live in that window. We know how that kind of gets crazy at the time, and we just go. But remember the daily double too, right? You're going to go Kenin games to cover Bublik and straights. We'll get that out as well. But Dustin, this was fun. I wanted to say last thing. I'm recording this on location. A little trip out to Tennessee. So
I was wondering what's going on and where you're at, because
I can make a drink at some point here. We got a mystery place, but I'm on location in Tennessee.
Bar behind you there?
Yeah, a little bar, but I had to wear the Ohio State shirt. Just
I do love that.
I'm in Tennessee, so
see the Buckeyes behind me. So
I want to ask him how the first round went. If anybody caught that game, but I don't want to get accosted in public. So
tell him your partner on your podcast is a former Buckeye, so you're just repping for him.
Yeah, I got to positive up. 2002, 2003 national title game champion here, but also older than the age of the combined players that we were talking about in that match. So you got to give both of it there. So. Yeah. But congrats on
Thanks, man.
on everything with that, and have fun on the cruise. And we'll be back. We got Betting Weekly Tennis Live returns tomorrow and Wednesday, 1:00 Eastern. Wimbledon.
Make sure you're subscribing, people. We give you winners, and not just us. Everybody else on the Bet Rivers channel.
Subscribe to the YouTube app. Make sure you download subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow the socials because we win, and make sure you download the Bet Rivers app and get involved, because we got a newsletter. We've got shows all the time. Tremendous work by Nigel Seeley and co. But for Dustin Fox, I'm Mitch Michals. This was Betting Weekly Tennis Live. We'll be back same time tomorrow. See you then. Enjoy the tennis.